is Harry Jacobs, and welcome to the North of 60 Gaming channel, and I am the North of 60 Gamer, and welcome to Coffee and Kickstarter. Today is June 8th, 2021, and we are in the midst of a fairly cool day here in Yellowknife, though the sun is shining, and it's pretty much shines most of the day for about 20 hours. And we dip down, and then, of course, we pop back up around 3:34 in the morning, and my dogs are wide awake and they are ready to go. We are going to do two things today. First, we are going to take a look at the Lonely Undead, a little sneak peek of a ongoing Kickstarter. And we're just going to go very, very quickly. It's one of those 5-minute segments that seems to be so popular. So we're going to just go over some of the components and what's going on in that game, and it'll be a 5-minute segment, maybe 6. You know how I like to ramble. Second of all, then we're going to jump right into our Kickstarters. I've got 5 or 6 of them ready to go and queued up for your enjoyment, what I'm looking for, and it will include the Lonely Undead because they are looking for friends. And who doesn't like to be a zombie friend? Anyway, without further ado, let's get to Lonely Undead. We are looking at a quick segment, and we're going to look at Lonely Undead. Here it is. Bite some people, make some friends. So you are going to play from 1 to 4 players, and you are each going to take a zombie. And we have Beth, Brittany, Ben, Bertha, Billy, and Bob. And each one has an accompanying standee as well as some limbs. And we're going to start with our zombie in the middle. And the zombie has to make friends. He is so lonely. And so one of the things he's going to do is he's going to have some cards to aid him. And you can see there's a number of different kinds of cards that we have here. Sunglasses. You ought to win. All you're listening on living that are outside. So if somebody is outside on a spot that's not in a store, you could win the sound check. And if you look at the card, the top is a sound check. We have some power, we have some movement, and the bite. So as a zombie, and let's just say we are playing Beth here, and we're going to put Beth down here. And we're going to move Beth up to, let's just see, whoops. We're going to move Beth up to 2 movements. Beth starts in the dead and in the zone in the middle. If this was a solo game or 4, she could start here, and she can move diagonally. She could move 1 to 2 spaces away. And there's Beth there. And then you can see she is next to a living person. Now, in order to bite a person, you will have to try to sneak up on them very, very quietly. And in order to do that, we would select their card, and we would place their card down, and that's the wrong card. We would select a living card, and we will take our living card, and we will turn it over. And Beth is a drunk. If he's in the bar. I don't think he is in a bar. Let's just see. No, he's in the mall. So we were drunk in the mall. So Beth would roll her dice. Now you can see that she has a listening skill of 2. So basically, long as she goes anywhere on this dice except for the one side, which is this side, she's going to pass the listening skill, 0. Since she already has a 2, our zombie has now listened. Now that she has rolled the 0 plus her listening or her stealth skill, she has snuck up on the drunk. We can go grab the drunk if we want. Where is the drunk? There's the drunk. We could put our drunk out on the table. We put him on top here. We'll have to do some editing. But you're going to see Beth now is going to attempt to bite the drunk. You can see now that Beth is going to try to attack the drunk. So you have to injure the player, the drunk first. So we will roll the dice again. And that is just a miss, period. were 4 movements. So the first she would have moved, the second she would have tried to sneak up, which we did. We tried to injure. Now, if you look down at the card, if blindly discard a card from your hand. So that means what happens is we tried to injure them, and we did not. We would have to actually blindly discard one of these 2 cards. We'd have to flip them over, mix them up a bit, and then discard the card. At that point in time, we have one other card thing that we can do. We could try to injure them again. I don't believe you can actually bite them twice, but you could probably injure. But anyway, let's just say we did actually successfully injure them. When we injure them, we can try to bite. So if you look at the bite number of Beth, which is 1 to 3, she has to roll a 1 to 3 on this dice, which case she rolled a 6. She wouldn't bite. She would actually put a bite marker on our drunk. And she can't attempt to bite this drunk ever again. At the end of the turn, basically in a solo game, you're going to draw 2 reactions. All zombies lose the card they have equipped. We have nothing equipped. And when we're engaged, we actually have our drunk down here. And then if we were playing a solo game, we would actually do another reaction. We'd actually take another reaction. No motivation. You may not use skills. So the next turns, Beth would be like sitting there and not really be able to do anything except maybe move. So that is how this game basically plays. You're going to play a round where you move 4. You're going to take events. You're going to try to bite and come up with 7 friends. Before this marker here, you can see at the bottom of our deck, bottom is the death toll. If we lose 10 or more civilians, you're going to lose the game. If you lose all your limbs, you start off with 4 limbs. You can see them up here. There's your foot. The dogs might take you off. The dogs might run around. There are people running around. There's police running around. You may lose a limb. If you lose all your limbs, you lose the game. You need to, and in a solo game, you only get up to 7 of these tokens, where there's 17 in a normal game. But basically, this is how the game is played. You move, you sneak up on somebody, you injure them, you bite them, and they are your friends. And that is the game in a nutshell. This is Lonely Undead. Play with yourself or with friends. That opening was thanks to Katia Howitson, and she has a Kickstarter going, and we're going to talk about that Kickstarter a little bit later on in this video, but I just wanted to show you that fantastic start and that wonderful mosaic that she's creating based on Lost Ruins of Arnak. As promised, you saw that great video just a few seconds ago, and this is Katia Howitzon's Kickstarter for her 2022 board game Mosaic Calendar. You can see she already has 569 backers, and she's raised almost $18,000 with 16 days to go. This is a fabulous calendar that could go up on your wall or fridge or at work. It is board game themed, and she has done such a marvelous job here. Look at this detail of art of all the little bits. Mind you, I don't envy her when she has to put all her games back together for this, but that's the cross some people have to bear for the artistry of what they are doing. Look at this. This is part of the video that I just showed you. There's your calendar layout. It's 12 inch by 24 inches. You have these marvelous days, games played this month. You can see this beautiful snake. This is the The Lost City of Arnex by Czech Games. This is one of my favorite games right now going. It is a fabulous game, but we're not here to talk about the game. We are here to talk about this marvelous artwork that's being presented in calendar form using bits from games. So you can see Role Player here, Floodgate, Haley, I don't know that particular game, Honey Buzz, Chronicles of Time. June is Mystic Library. Here's the Lost Ruins of Arnak. We don't know what August and November's are. Oh, what's this? October on Mars. This is one of my favorite games. And Vindication, another one of my favorite games. These are some really good highlights. Star Realms. We can also have some add-ons. So here's some Meeple mugs and Dwellings of Eldervale mugs. And looks like there's some stickers or magnets and some coasters. These are all fabulous artwork that has been done by Katia. The shipping isn't too bad for Canada, $9 and $11 Canadian. The calendars themselves are $20. That's not bad for a calendar. I think that's well worth the price for this beautiful artwork that you can put in with your games and keep forever as a keepsake. Uh, Katia is a member of the Board Game Revolution, and she is there. And you could probably pop on and ask her questions about the calendar to herself. Also, she is a fellow Canadian, and as a Canadian, this is a very good moment for Canadians because we have gamers up here. We have content creators, and we need to give them exposure. Congrats, Katya. This is a marvelous Kickstarter. With that being said, on to Alien Exiles. I don't know why I picked this game. I think it popped up somewhere in a reviewer site. It's a quick game where players try to avoid occupation by aliens. Last man standing is the winter. It's looking for about $7,200. It's raised 507. It's got 20 backers, 19 days to go. The overview is after being exiled in need of a new planet, these sneaky aliens have been casing the galaxy for a new home. It looks like they've narrowed it down to a few planets, and unfortunately for you, your planet was one of the ideal places. So they want to make sure they blend. What's in the box? 56 cards, so it looks like it's mainly a card game. We've got a couple of, you can see some artwork here. It's okay. I would not, it's cartoonish perhaps, but maybe that, based on what I'm looking at in the game in terms of aliens, I think that's probably apropos. We have some guild masters. We got some social goals. We can follow them on Facebook. We got some, looks like stretch goals, a fifth player expansion. Here we are, new characters. So we got some days. So we're going to get some stuff, even though it's going to unlock through the campaign itself. Women in White. Okay, these are tarot-based size card upgrades. Okay, we have some regional goals. We have at least one overview in a video form. We've got some testimonies. We've got Kickstarter preview. We've got some quotes. All in all, not a bad campaign. We have some add-ons or extras. The timeline is fulfillment by December. I would take that with a grain of salt. So the shipping is 10 to 15 euros, 15 to 20 for the bigger package. It's a $15 game with a $15 or 50 euro shipping. That is a hard pass for me. There's also something here that just doesn't set right with me. I don't know whether it's the art. There seems to be lots of quotes, so people have had eyes on the game. So I don't want to judge based on, and having not played it, but maybe I'll take a look at a tabletop simulator later and change my mind. But I very much doubt that I am in a moratorium. This is still in June. I'm going to probably have to skip it just because I'm in that moratorium. It was kind of interesting game. $15,000 goal, 1,300 range, 35 backers, 29 days to go. You can just see it go up. It's about blooming industry. It's tulip farming. 2 to 6 players, 8 and up, 30 to 60 minutes. Looks like a lightweight game. Dice Tower Looks like they've how to play video. You gather. Looks like a tile laying game. I do like tile laying games. They're nice fillers. My wife likes tile laying games. You can play it on Tabletopia. 80 tiles, lots of components, tulips, boats, tokens. This looks like a nicely put together game. There's some add-on Bushido breakers. That must be a previous game. Uh, they've got stretch goals that are well defined, right up to $100,000. We've got lots of reviewers. We've got testimonials. Shipping is only $17 to Canadian. What is this magic price of this game? $38. That is not bad. Shipping is a little high per additional copy. So if you bought 2 copies, maybe give one as a gift. It would be better. Um, but this looks like a nice little game for the price. The shipping's right. The only thing it doesn't have is a solo mode. I think for a game club perhaps where they're teaching games, this would be a perfect kind of game to have a quick look at it. And so therefore it would be a fun game just to teach people, especially younger, because it's 8 plus. I would love to get more games into that 8 to 10 year old range just to bring them up into the gaming hobby just a little bit earlier, because they'll lose interest as teenagers. So I think if we can start them earlier, they may not lose interest and go into other games like Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic. Not that those are bad games. I'm having one of those mornings where there are so many distractions. This is taking me hours longer than I was hoping to do. I'm slowly getting it out. Next up is Squaring Circleville. This is a historical game based on a city in Ohio in which they built a spoke-like road, as you can see here, and that people didn't like it. So over the next 20 years, after they put all these roads in, they spent their time fixing it into a more traditional road grid. You can see it's at $42,000. It's already funded 376 backers, 9 days to go. I've saved it, though it is inside the moratorium that I've talked about over the last week or two, that I need to not buy games thanks to just trying to take the pressure off financially, as we are planning a big trip next year. And we've also had some big car repairs. This game isn't too bad. I mean, 69 euros. I don't think there's another. That's it, really. There is a game. So there's a rondelle. I'm not quite sure, other than that, how it plays. It looks like so there's on rondelles. We have people, equipment tiles, solo play. Yay! I love solo play. There are some really good videos that we can look at. We can try it ourselves. So this shows a lot of confidence in the product. You can read the rules, why we should support them. It's thematically and mechanically strong. That I would have to determine by reading the rules and actually trying it. These are one of the things that we really have to take a chance on in Kickstarter is, do we like this? I mean, thematically, it looks right, but is it really a good fit for my collection, whether I would play it or not? And when you're trying to evaluate that on a Kickstarter, it is so hard. And one of the big things, of course, is the fear of missing out. And people suffer from that and therefore may often just jump in because, oh my God, I must have it. And then find out it's like, oh my God, it's really not as good as I thought it was. There's only a limited stretch goal here. So, we have some extra tiles. It is a $69 Euro game. Let's just take a look and see if we can find shipping. 20 euros. So it's actually a decent game. It's $102 Canadian, 69 euros. That's a tough one, especially when I'm trying to be restraintful of what I am doing. Again, I have it saved. This one I'm calling out because it is Canadian. The designer was born in Whitehorse, which is in the Yukon Territories. The Klondike is based on the Canadian Gold Rush, which happened in the 1800s. I live in the Northwest Territories. Another reason why people came to the Northwest Territories was the gold rush. So not only was it Dawson and Whitehorse, but also Yellowknife and other areas around the Northwest Territories and the Yukon Territories. The game has only got $1,000, 1,400 with an $8,000 goal, 25 backers, 56 days to go. This, to me, is an indication that there's not a lot of confidence, and that they're willing to let this go for a very long time in hopes that they trip over the finish line. He is a first-time creator. The box, there's prospect max, guards, grub stake cards, a pack, not really defined. The artwork is hopefully, I don't know, looks cartoonish. We have a beautiful countryside here in Canada. So, using a cartoon style may not have been the first choice, perhaps, of uh, of of showing the heritage here. As you can see, cartoon characters. That's my personal feeling. And here's some artwork. We have an expansion pack. There's locked goals, but doesn't really tell you when they unlock, perhaps. If I looked over at the side, I know I've looked at this previously. It's going to unlock based on the level that you look at or you pay for. Like here's level one in the miner's choice, the frugal miner's choice. You're going to get the game, but if you go up to the $75, you get the next set of stretch goals. Why would you even do that? You should either have it as a single game with two add-ons or a deluxe version and a single version. Then there's a Pioneer Choice where you can have it signed. And then we get into an Aristocrats where you start to get artwork and then even more money and more money. And I don't know how I feel about this. And then the Early Bird Special, which is here, which is, I don't know, is that a Friends special? Perhaps not. Um, all in all, there are no reviewers. So other than trying to figure this out on Tabletop Topia, it might be a struggle. I am not sure until I look at it. Perhaps I will do a 5-minute bit on this a little later to see if I can figure this game out. Or did I do it? Did I see it on Tabletopia? I think I did. Oh, no, maybe not. Let's go through this slowly, Harry. I'm having a busy day and my mind is like going wing, wing, wing. And I need to slow down, take a breath. So there is no Tabletopia. So other than a little description here, no videos, no, not even the designer sitting down and talking about his game. I think there's going to be needing some improvements. I think there's a great need for a game like this. I think we need more Canadian designers. I think we need more historical games and historical context. I don't think this is a campaign that is going to fund 56 days. I think what I would be doing is reevaluating this campaign, going into some of those areas and asking people who have knowledge about what I can do to improve this game in terms of what I'm presenting to me, because I don't see the what's in it for me as a project manager here. Um, so what's the value? And I'm not seeing value at this point because I don't understand how this game plays. So just some inherent issues. I hope though he's going to come back. I did contact him about doing some previews. They do not have any review copies, so that is an issue because money is tight. I get that, but I think that would probably have to change. Even if they went to Game Crafters and put something in there and did a few copies, uh, it's there. Anyway, I'm not going to say anything more about this. I do hope they fund. I hope I can help them in the future if they ask for it. That is Klondike. Lastly, this is kind of the fun game I've been looking at. 27 days, $3,300 raised, $3,600 raised. So it looks like we have people jumping in for $1. Not a good sign at this early stage. They're looking for 18,000, which is pretty moderate in my case. I've saved it. This I did look at the beginning of this segment. You can see on my 5-minute quickness of it. Probably didn't get every rule right, but I just really wanted to show you and give a flavor of the game. This game is the opposite. It's from the zombie's point of view because he just wants to have friends. 1 to 4 players, 14 and up. I think it could be 12 and up or even 10 and up. I think there's not a lot of concepts here that aren't within a 12-year-old's range, certainly. 60 to 90 minutes, uh, probably a good play time. I think that's a sweet spot for this. I see this as a filler game. Um, though the rules were a bit hard to decipher, um, I think that, and it's only the beta. I saw the prototype, folks, so don't get uptight about this. Just beta and prototype. I think there's a great potential here in this game, and there's Bertha and Billy and Bob and Beth and Brittany. I think the card aspects of this, tokens with some standees that you'll replace, so the living people will have actually, you'll turn them over and you'll see who they are, and you'll get their cards, which are here, and then they'll tell you whether they're easy to fight and to sneak up on. So as you would expect, a town drunk, which I saw earlier, very easy to sneak up on, but an officer who's alert, not so easy. I think this game looks like a lot of fun. So we have a double-sided board where you can have this sort of beginner experience. And then I look down here and you can actually build the board yourself with the spot players. I saw that somewhere in here, which makes it very appealing. We do have some really good videos. There's the Hungry Gamer, Grant. So we have lots and lots of videos, lots of sort of testimonials going on. Shipping is reasonable at $20. I think Dead Lemon has done an excellent job for a first created game. Whether it funds or not, I don't know. Here it is. The new friend pledge is $55. You get a copy. $90 for an all friends pledge. It's the retailer pledge. So it's going to go to retailer. Let's see were there stretch goals. So the problem I see here is, and if I was to draw on my inner Alex Radcliffe, why would I back this game? Because there's really no stretch goals. I don't see anything that's exclusive that says, yeah, this is Facebook. I see a good game. I see a potentially fun game that could work in a great night of beer and pretzel type games. It's not much really harder than Zombicide, really. Maybe a few more rules, a little deeper perhaps. But I can see this as a really fun game. But there's not a lot here that says, Kickstarter, yes, I am an exclusive club member, and I'm going to get something at the end of the day. If it just trips over the funding, there might not be anything. So that's just my opinion. As always, look at the game. Go off and look at it on Tabletop Simulator. Give me some of your comments about it. I think he deserves this to be backed, but I believe that maybe there should be some more defined stretch goals so we know what is exclusive. Maybe there should be some exclusivity in here where there is. If I paid $200 and have my dog, and if I had $200, I'd probably do that. But that's the last one I really wanted to look at. I saved this kind of the one I really liked for the best. I did did one at the beginning that I liked, but it wasn't a game. But both are great. I think this is worth your backing, and at least I'll look at your time and look at it maybe in 25 days, and let's hope it backs. Congratulations. What looks like a really good game. I enjoyed it. But whether the fans here, even if it doesn't fund, I do hope they come back and with a little more experience and jump in and get that funding the second time around. There is no failures here in Kickstarter with these types of one-offs and trying to get them out there. I want to push these. I want people to know that there are options. We should be supporting our small designers and small publishing, and I think that's where they belong on Kickstarter. Some of these bigger publishers, I will usually give a nod to them, but I don't always believe they should be on Kickstarter because they take money away from the people who deserve to have their projects funded. That's me on my high horse in my ivory tower, easy to say, but that is all I am going to say about coffee and Kickstarter Day. I still have some coffee. Actually, guys, it's not coffee now. It's just plain water. But if you like what you see, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notifications, make some comments. As always, I hang around on Board Game Revolution and Board Games for One, among other sites. Look me up, say hi, ask questions, put some comments in. I am a live person. Nothing here is scripted, so whatever I say is what I am responsible for that comes out of my mouth. So I am not a paid reviewer, so anything you hear is I have not been paid for. So I am in nobody's pocket. So I own everything I say. So with that being said, see you next week on Coffee and Kickstarter.